Very good evening, everyone. I am Shilpa, moderator for this session. Today, our topic of discussion is life at IISC Bangalore. And our agenda will be to know the admission process, courses offered, fees, life inside the campus, infrastructure, educational curriculum, placement and opportunities, and many more unknown facts. So be with us because this session is going to be interesting and informative at the same time. So let's meet our today's panelist, Nikhil Agrawal. You are an IISC graduate, and we have Sneha Negi. You are currently studying at IISC Bangalore. I heartily welcome both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shilpa. Thank you.
And before we proceed, those who have joined us, if you have any questions related to our today's topic of discussion, then feel free to post either in the Q&A section or in the chat section, and I will get those answered by our expert one by one. So let's begin this session by knowing more about our panelists in brief. Let's begin with Nikhil.
Thank you, Shilpa. Hello, everyone. A pleasant good evening to all. I'm Nikhil Agrawal. I'm basically from IISC Bangalore, who has recently successfully defended his MTech research thesis from Computer Science and Automation Department. So I joined IISc in 2019, basically. So I was in the MTech research program, which is actually of the duration 2 to 2.5 years. And after that, actually, I'm currently working for a software industry. I'm working for a software company named Cradlewise. So basically, it's a startup company, and I am working as a software engineer over there. So apart from this academia, my hobbies are playing musical keyboard and making new friends. And yeah, I'm really excited to have this session and would like to answer all your queries. Thank you.
Glad to have you, Nikhil, in the panel. And let's move to Sneha.
Hi, my name is Sneha Negi. I am MTech CSA coursework student, currently in my second year. And I've been placed in NVIDIA as a system software engineer. So yeah, that's about it.
Okay, again, I welcome both of you in today's session. And if I talk about IISc, many of us just dream to be the part of IISc clan, but it takes a lot of hard work, lot of studies. So the first thing, please tell us about IISc and how to get admission in it. So let's begin with Nikhil first. Nikhil, you are muted.
Yeah. Thanks, Shilpa. So everyone, like as you said, Shilpa, that has a dream of studying in a very prestigious college. Not only IISc, like it can be like IITs also, like IIT Bombay, IIT Kanpur. To be honest, when I was a student, I had a dream of that. I would really like to go to IIT Bombay. But yeah, now I'm a student of IISc. So yeah, so talking about the admission process, so like GATE is one of the exam I would say to get into the IISc. So like any of your stream you may have, right? Like you are in computer science, mechanical, electrical, or any branches. So the GATE is one of the exams to get into the IISc. So it's not only the GATE exam, I would say. So first one has to write the GATE exam and has to get a decent GATE rank, maybe a double digit or in some cases triple digit rank. And after that, once you're shortlisted for the admission process, in IISc also itself, its own test, like Sneha can actually give more emphasis on how, like, even if after getting a double digit rank, it's still not sufficient to get into IISc. You have to clear some IISc's own admission test, and after that then you proceed further. So like in IISc, there are many programs which we will discuss, like coursework, research, and many others. So like I was in the research program. So for research program, the admission process is different. Once you get a respectable rank, you have to give another written exam, and once that written exam is clear, you have to clear the interviews from the IISc professors. So this is about the MTech research. As we progress, I'll discuss more about the MTech research program too. Yeah.
Thanks, Nikhil, for answering that. Sneha, coming to you, is the GATE only exam to just get into IISc, or is it particularly for MTech? What about BTech? And the other courses, UG courses?
I mean, yes. I mean, masters if you are going for a master's program, I think GATE is the only option. MTech research or PhD programs. But then there is BSc programs as well, like BS in physics, maths, bioscience, etc., etc. For that, I think they have a separate something KYPIC something that test for that. And yeah, from this year only they have started BTech in mathematics and computation. So yeah, this year's JEE Advanced Rank 1 is also here studying. And fortunately, we are also one of the teaching assistants for a course. So this BTech in mathematics and computation is, they have structured this course in a way that the students get a very fluent idea of all the computer science basics. So I think the BTech course is prepared really well for the, if they want to go for IT industries like software SD. Yeah. So that's about the BTech program. Yeah.
Nikhil, we would like to have your insight. What all courses are offered at the university? Do you have any insight on that?
Yeah, so before answering this question, so as we discussed, apart like for the MTech research program, there's one other exam named JEST, JEST. So even student clears that exam also, and they scored a good rank, and after that, they can also enter into the MTech research program for the clearance. So to answer your question, Shilpa, what are the various programs at IISc? So we have something called MTech coursework.
I
Hi, Sneha. Am I
Yeah,
audible to you?
yeah. I think
I
it's
think there's
video
an
lag.
internet connectivity issue at Nikhil's end. He will
Yeah,
be back in a while. So,
yeah.
yeah.
I can
So,
carry on with this.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Continue.
yeah, sorry, actually the video got stopped from my side. Yeah,
No worries.
so we have 5 programs currently, and
Okay, I think internet is a problem. Meanwhile, I'll take a question. Uh, the question has been asked by Abdut, and he is asking, I'm preparing for GATE exam and I'm not doing coding and other technologies, but I want to ask, after joining IISc, how you develop the skill of coding.
Okay, see, if I can talk for myself, like
Nikhil, wait a sec, Sneha. I'll come back to you, Nikhil. I can see you. Sneha, you can answer that question.
yeah. So for coding, I was decent in coding and programming. I was fluent with C++, but I did not really prepared for placement purposes in my BTech because I was focused toward GATE. I knew that I didn't have better opportunities in my BTech, for the placement. So I was clear about that. I did very well for any kind of project to make my resume and all. So coming to the question that how I prepared in my master's. So first thing I want to clear, in master's, there are, very good courses. They ask you to do projects in every semester. So, during the whole MTech first year, you will have a decent amount of projects in your resume. I also used to worry about this before coming to, IISc. I used to ask my seniors that I did not do any project, then what will happen? So everybody who was doing MTech from any institution, IIT, Triple IT, NITs, they told me that I don't have to worry about that. My course project will be sufficient to make my resume. So that's thing. And for coding, our college also has provided us with a boot camp. It's a 1-year boot camp. It starts from like end of our first semester, and it goes on till our placement process started. So yeah, we can solve. There were questions from lead code, the solution, and we can do coding questions on daily basis. But to be very frank, the course work is very hectic. I did not follow the boot camp very seriously, but at the end, if you are confident enough and your resume is good enough, so I think confident is a key, I would say, because placements are they are not very predictable. Anything can happen. So that's that thing. Yeah.
Thanks, Neha, for answering that question. Avdut and Anupam, yes, I have seen your questions and I'll be asking those questions to our experts in a while. You have to be patient. And coming back to you, Nikhil, again, you have to unmute yourself and coming back to you and discussing about courses. You there, Nikhil?
Yeah, can you hear
Yeah,
me?
yeah, I can.
Yeah. Sure. So there's something called MTech coursework program, which Sneha is a part of. So MTech coursework program, as we said, like we have to clear gate, we have to get a decent rank, and in IISc, like there's something called coding round, and in that coding round, one has to perform very well, and after that, one can get into and one can enroll in IISc as an MTech coursework program. Then there's something called MTech research program. So for MTech research program, like the gate rank wise, it is little lenient. Let's say example for let's say for the coursework, let's say if I have to get a double digit rank, up to double digit rank to get into ISC, but for the MTech research we can get up to triple digit rank also. Example, like one can get up to, let's say, 300 or 400 rank, like depending upon the gate score which ISC sets. So once so that's what, so there's a decent gate rank one has to achieve, like 300 or 400 rank. Then after that, and now the student has to, what should I say, the student clears the written exam. Then after that, there will be an interview process that will be happening. So interview process happens, it's not, it depends upon the pools. So we were about to talk about the various pools. Like in ISC, we have three pools. We have theory pool, we have system pool, and we have intelligence systems. So like I was a part of systems pool, and I think Sneha, if I'm not wrong, you are the part of game
Yeah.
theory lab, right? So you are in the
Intelligence system.
intelligence systems. So so there are various pools in IISc. So according, like different pool, different set of professors will be there, and accordingly, when questions will be asked depending on what the subjects they have selected. And these subjects are nothing but the gate subjects that you have learned. Example, like computers, like if you are in the computer science background, so we'll be having subjects related to operating system, networks, computer architectures, like that. So I'm sorry, like we might be more specific to computer science and automation because we both are from CSA department. So like if there are some people like who are from mechanical, please feel free to drop the questions. If we can't, we'll definitely get the answers back to you. So yeah, so this was about the MTech research program. Then there's something called direct PhD. Direct PhD program means student completed his bachelor's, like BB or BTech, and after that immediately he's joining for PhD. So this direct PhD is same as the, like the interview process for the direct PhD is same as for the MTech research. Now there's fourth program, something called MTech Online. So this is the new program which IISc has started. This is basically for the working professionals. So when I say working professional, like the student, like the employees who are working for a company, like let's say there's Swiggy, Cisco, and Samsung R&D. There are so many companies who has collaborated with IISc, and and employees have to work like being in the company. They can also do his MTech. So like there are currently three departments. There's something called artificial intelligence, electronics department, and then this third is, I think, something related to data business and analytics. I think that field. So we have three branches for which a student can enroll for MTech online program for working professionals. And I think I covered four. And then there's something called project assistant, research assistantship. Terminologies are different, but at the end they are same only. So this is like if someone wants to work under a professor, like he or she has a particular interest in a domain, then what he can do, he can approach the professor, let's say via email. He can send his CV that I have done this project and I would like to continue. I would like to work under you under this project. So in that case, if the advisor is fine, like if the professor is fine, he has to he will take an interview with the student, and if he's fine, he'll join a lab under research assistant profile. So I think I covered five programs, and there's something called normal PhD, which is same as direct PhD in the sense that a student has more background, like more mature enough, like what is actually a research. I hope I was able to answer.
Yeah.
Yes, Nikhil, you answered it perfectly. Sneha, would you like to add anything?
Yeah. I want to add one thing that generally computer science students opt for, there are multiple, like we have a CSA department, Computer Science and Automation, which I am enrolled in. Then there is CDS, Computational Data Science. And then there is AI, Artificial Intelligence. Artificial Intelligence. So AI and CDS are interdisciplinary branches. For example, if someone has given GATE from electronics or electrical or in fact biotechnology department, they can enroll in CDS and AI and get into software industry if they want to pursue their job in software industry. So this is one path they can take. Yeah.
Okay, thank you both of you for answering that. We have received a set of questions from the attendees who have joined us. First is question is, does BTech CGPA matters in MTech placement?
If I have to answer, I would say not really. I didn't even add my BTech CGPA in my resume because it was already very full and we can't really go for 2-page resume. It's not very professional, I think. So I didn't add my BTech CGPA in my placements. I don't think it matters.
Okay. And next up, we have a question from Anupam. He's saying, I'm a student of class 11th currently, and I'm just in love with chemistry subject. And how can I prepare for my admission in bachelor's in chemistry at IISC Bangalore? I'm not sure about chemistry, but yes, overall, you guys can guide him for sure. Nikhil.
So to be honest, first I would like to say that when I was in 11th standard, I was not knowing about IISc, to be honest, but I'm very happy for you that at least you know what is IISc and IITs are. So yeah, to answer this question, what I would recommend that is then exam name KVPY. If I'm not wrong, this KVPY exam we have to give properly to clear the to get shortlisted for the interview calls. But I'm just getting an instinct while I was saying that I heard from someone that KVPY, through KVPY, I think we are not allowed to IISc has stopped taking the things. The IISc has stopped, I should say, taking admissions with the basis of KVPY rank. Am I wrong, Sneha? You have any idea?
No, I don't know, but you can definitely Google it out. There's a specific test that you have to give, and it's a JEE advanced level test. So if someone is preparing for JEE main, JEE advanced, he can also, take this test and get into, BSc graduate level courses, for example, chemistry, maths, physics, that kind of courses.
And even I'm sharing a link in the chat box. You guys can have a look at it. It is to all the attendees so that you can just have more details about the things you are just seeking for. Nikhil, yes.
Yeah, so I was saying that we have some IISc does take the admissions with the basis of the rank or the score achieved in JEE main as well as in JEE advanced, either of one. So either of way, you have to give this exam with full focus.
Sneha, next up we have a question from Satyam. Can you share something about computational and data science program by IISc?
Yes. So as I was telling, computational data science, the CDS department is an interdisciplinary branch. For example, I have one friend who had done her BTech in biotech, and now she is in CDS department. So it's not necessary that you have to give exam from GATE CSE. You can give from your perspective branch, and if you get good enough score, then on the basis of your GATE score, as well as CDS department also take interview. CSA department, on the other hand, which I am a part of, does not take an interview. It takes 70% weightage from your GATE exam, and the rest 30% weightage is from the coding test that they have recently started from my batch only. Yeah. So that's about it. And about the subject. In IISc, I think in IISc, we can take courses from any of the branches. Like CDS department peeps can take courses from my branches, my branch, after satisfying their own criteria of few subjects. So subject wise, we have a lot of common, and for the placement also, we sit for the same companies and everything is same. Yeah, so that's about it.
Okay. Nikhil, next up, I'm going to ask you a question. Hari Govind wants to know, I'm a research scholar in solar energy and I need help in research program. Can you please tell us about PhD admission in IISc? Though you have tell us briefly, I know, but again,
Yeah.
if you just...
Okay. So the domain is regarding solar energy, right? Something related to that. So I was thinking that okay. So first we have to figure out that which is the department at IISc through which in work is going on in the solar energy field. So once we get the department name, so I'm guessing that there's high chance that in IISc there's some department I think related to physics, not physics, I would say. Yeah, first, let's say if we figure out the department, let's say if there's the department X in which in which solar energy work is going on, then we have to check his admission portal. Like every department has its, there's something called link related to admissions. Like how, like if you want to enter into this department, what are the various ways? So once we get the department name, you can follow the link and get to know how we can enter it. So yeah, that's all.
Sneha, any idea about BSc Physics at IISc regarding the cutoff rank and selection through JEE Mains and JEE Advanced?
Okay, no, as we discussed earlier, the exam
KVPY.
KVPY.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a 5-year program, the BSc Physics, and I don't really know much about the preparations that they should follow and everything. Yeah.
So the person who has asked this question related to the preparation strategy, I would recommend you should just go through the link I have shared in the chat box, because it has the details how you should prepare for the examination. All the examination conducted, which leads you to take admission in IISc. Okay, coming back to our expert and asking more questions to them. And the next up we have question, academic marks are considered at IISc Bangalore while taking admission? Nikhil.
Yeah, so I think there is some cutoff. If I'm not wrong, for the MTech research, there was a cutoff, I think from 7.5 CGPA. I'm unable to recall because it happened 3 years back. So, but the plus point is I remember that I gave an interview for CDS department, which Sneha has mentioned. So for CDS department, I was maintaining the CGPA 9 and above in my BTech studies. So it creates a plus point when you are giving the interview. So it's better to have a good CGPA, but I think let's say if you are performing decent in BTech, then I think it won't be much of a difference in getting into ISC.
I mean, sorry to interrupt, but in MTech coursework, which is MTech CSA coursework, they don't ask for CGPA. They just, as I said, 70% gate score and then 30% a decent programming test, very decent. You don't have to really prepare for it if you are decent enough in any of the programming language.
And those who are asking subject specific things, I think this is, we just cannot cater to all of the questions. Subject is specific or the field is specific, but yes, overall guidance you can get from this webinar, right? Am I right? Okay. So I have 2 follow-up questions on the things you guys had shared before. You were saying about the gate examination, we have to get rank and then we get shortlisted, and the written examination, then we have to appear for the interview. So I want to ask, what would be the written and interview tips for the upcoming candidates? Nikhil, let's begin from you.
Yeah, so my policy when I was preparing for GATE exam is that get your concepts clear and focus always on the previous year questions. Because during the preparation, we don't need to there should be an upper limit on how much we have to go to a particular topic in deep, because we are not doing research during the GATE preparation. We have to get a very decent rank, and for that I was focusing entirely on the previous year questions, and I just was not solving the question just to complete it. I was just thinking that, okay, if this question has asked, then if I would have been the paper setter, then how I would have twisted this same question. So I used to take time and solve each of the questions, specifically the previous year question, because the my faculties through whom I have done the gate course, they used to always tell that should be very much clear on the gate like previous year question. So like if let's say if I was a student and I would have been like giving the gate for, let's say, 2023, what I would have done at this moment is like I would have solved previous year questions. And since like this is the November and like December, January, we have 2 months on it, right? Let's say if we are giving for gate 2023, so I would have been given that advice that whatever things you have learned, keep practicing and try to solve test series, because speed and accuracy is very much important. So this is one thing. And let's say if there is some like if there is some students who are in actually, let's say, third year and giving gate for 2024, so I would just give the advice that like start preparing for gate from now only.
Sneha, next up we have a question. For the interview, you are still a student, that's why I'm asking you this question. You must be having a fresh memory.
Yeah.
For the interview round, what sort of questions were being asked to you?
Okay. So
And one more question I'll be adding up to this. Does the work experience being considered during the interview round?
okay. So I also had I didn't have any work experience, so I also used to worry about it. But I think if someone is coming for placement in a company, maybe some company might give preference to experienced people or who might have internship in. But I was with this confidence that if the company is coming to my college, they should be prepared that I am not someone who is experienced. So I did not do any internship before getting placed. And for the preparation also, there's there's a specific set of things that one need to do for coming and getting the SD role. So they have to do some set of programming question so that they can at least crack the online test. Then only you will get the chance to do the interview. So in the interview also, every company have different set of approaches to judge the interviewee, because in some of the interview, in my experience, they didn't even look at my resume. They didn't ask any question about my project. They had some set of questions in their mind that how we are going to evaluate this person, and they only focused on that. And yeah, some company asked about our projects, and they were more focused on how we are able to communicate our thoughts and all those things. But yeah, so in briefly, if I have to summarize, just prepare a good resume so that you would be confident enough, and at the project only you will be able to convey your thought about how you did that and all. And yeah, get a decent amount of knowledge about programming and get acquired with that. Yeah, those are the things.
Okay. And it's time again to take up some questions. Sangeeta has a question. Can a student pursuing BSc first year in other college get admission for the second year BSc in IISc? If yes, then what could be the process? Basically, the lateral entry.
Yeah, sorry, I don't have any information about lateral entry in IISc, but I think these are some kind of question you can simply Google it out. Like if there's a lateral entry program there in IISc.
Nikhil, are you saying anything? We cannot hear you. Still you're not audible to us. I think you need to change some audio settings if you have just plugged in headset. And meanwhile, we can just ask Neha. Can you just tell us about year's placement process, stats and experience at IISc, CDS, AI and CSA? Any idea about this?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Yeah, sure. So the question is about the placement and statistics experience at IISC CDS,
Okay.
AI, and the CSA.
Okay, so they are basically asking us about the statistics, what is the median salary, student get in AICDS and CS. So I don't have the data for this year. And to be honest, I didn't look at the data for previous year also, but I know the median CTC is 35.5. The median CTC is that. So for CSA, so I don't really know about another like CDS, CSA, and AI all sit for the same companies. So I think, yeah, it depends on student only. Then the department doesn't matter.
Nikhil, next up we have a question from Manik. Is there any fellowship or freeship at IISc, particularly for MTech programs? We cannot hear you, Nikhil. I think you should just simply remove that headset so that we could just hear you. And Sneha, if you have any idea related to fellowship and freeship.
Yeah. So yeah, one thing that the stipend that everybody get after cracking GATE is 12K stipend. But other than that, for female student especially, there are various companies like Citrix, Sony, Adobe who provide scholarship to women student here studying in IISc. Other than that, we also get a chance to, there's a Reliance scholarship, which is which give a total sum of 6 lakh in 2 years for master program students. So student can also apply into that. Then I think then there is PMRF. Then there's Google fellowship from TCS, from IBM, from different companies. You can get fellowship here in IISc.
Thanks, Neha, for answering that. Next up we have, okay. I think Nikhil is not here. Okay. So, okay, he's back.
Yeah, now can you hear me? I'm
Yeah.
sorry
Yes,
for
I
the
can.
struggle.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And Nikhil, we would like to have your guidance related to the how rigorous is the coursework at IISc.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, so as you said, like this question got smile in my face. So yeah, it's very rigorous, to be honest, in IISc. So like in terms of number, you may say that, okay, like in one semester one has to do only 3 or 4 courses, but at the same time, like these 3 or 4 courses only are so much of hard. When I say hard, what does basically this means that one has to do actually projects also, and these projects sometimes are very different. When I say different, in sense, sometimes you don't know also about your project. You have to find your project, something like called as a research project, where you have to find your problem statement. In some courses, I'm not saying for all courses, but in some courses you have to find like what is actually project I have to do. Like they will give some high level idea that you have to do this, but behind the scene, one has to go deep to actually figure out what is the problem, what is the actually problem statement one has to do. So this was regarding the project, and also there are some exams, and there are few courses for which you might require some background if you really want to do that course. So if you don't have that background, so you may spend time on getting that background to understand what is actually going on in the class. So to be honest, the first semester, I think even Sneha will agree with me that first semester or the first year, I would say it's very hard at ISC, because we don't know like how we have to study, and like what is the pattern one has to follow. And in ISC, like let's say if you are having exams, right? Like, so what happens is that in your BTech times, what happens that like the previous year question used to come, and we just mug up our previous year questions and we may pass the exam. But in ISC, it's completely not like that. Like every year, like the question set will be a fresh one. So let's say, even like, first of all, we don't get generally the previous year questions, and if we may get by chance, then also the professors are very they will make sure that the questions are relatively new with respect to the previous years. So it's very harsh. Like the first semester, I would say it's very tough. I think then later point of time, students get used to of that, how to manage.
I think I would like to add one thing. What happens like in BTech, if we are coming from tier 3 colleges, so we don't have to do any hardship to, pass a semester exam. As you said, you can do one night study and you're better to go. But then suddenly, what is our mentality? We prepare for GATE exam, and if we get good enough rank, we are very happy that now the masters will be a cakewalk for us. But then suddenly it hits when you come to your the semester that no, it's not really that easy. Even the brightest of the mind will struggle to complete the assignment, and plagiarism has taken very seriously here in IISc. So it's not like that you can do an assignment with your friend and it will go all easy. It's not like that. So that's one thing that adds up to our hardship here in IISc. But I think it makes us, we can, before coming to IISc, I did not think I can do multitasking or, that. But when I had to submit multiple assignments simultaneously on the same deadline, now I am, more confident about my multitasking skills. So yeah, that's one good thing about it.
Okay, that means you guys really used to visit library. This is what I can guess.
Yeah.
Sneha is still doing that. So
No. I'm not in my library. I don't go to library actually. I study in my room only.
Okay,
Yeah.
still you guys are still doing so good. So
Yeah.
if I'll ask, how is the life at IISc? Sneha, let's begin from you, and what after IISc, I'll be coming back to Nikhil. Yeah.
Okay. So life at IISc. So first of all, there's a change of environment for me, as I told you earlier. I am from Uttarakhand, and then I don't know, people are very pleased about Bangalore's weather, but there's no sun. Then I had vitamin D deficiency, and many students here we have to take supplements and all. And other than that, it's very peaceful. You have your own labs. You can go to your lab. You can access the computationally high servers there. If you don't have any equipment, your professor will will make sure that you get that if you don't have a laptop, for example. So, and if we have to talk more about, there's gymkhana, there are people, you can see people playing in the ground, and you can see people seeing people playing in ground and thinking, how are they getting so much of time? How are they able to play? Because some people can't manage their work-life balance. So you will meet all kind of people here. Someone will be all who stay all his time on library and things like that, and someone who you think that when does he get time to study, because he's playing all the time. So that's one thing, that you have to manage your work-life balance here in IISc. So maybe Nikhil wants to add more about it.
For Nikhil, I have another question.
Yeah.
Because he's already graduated from IISc. He has already lived the life in IISc and after IISc. So I'll be asking you a question like in the middle, that comes the placement and internship opportunity. So how was your experience of, experiencing placement or internship opportunity at IISc, particularly for the MTech programs? Nikhil, over to you.
Yeah, so regarding the placements and program, like internship programs, so actually, first of all, for regarding the internship, so it's like you have to get the permission from your advisor that you are doing your project, you're going in a project in the right direction, and you can actually sit for the internship, because internship requires spending a decent amount of, let's say, 8 weeks. So once we get the approval from advisor, like to answer your question, that internship opportunities, I think like I am from computer science, so I can say about CS and like MTech CS programs. So there are various opportunities available for the internships. Like specifically for the ML profiles, ML data science, at least during in 2021, I would say internship opportunities were very good. And some advisors have their own startups in IISc. So let's say if you're working under that advisor, so you don't need to do anything, like you can simply get an internship in that opportunities, like in his or her startup. And like once he has done his internship, and there's some pre-placement offers, so you can get pre-placement offer from there also. So as I said that there are many advisors under which like they are doing startups. So if your domain and advisors domain match, so you can enter advisor startup also. Apart from that, general placement statistics, at least in the computer science background in 2021, it was to be honest, in the first, I think 21 days of the placement, like during our time, it started on October. So in the first 21 days, I think around, from my department, around 80 students got placed. 70 to 80 students got placed. And during our time, the median of, I won't say median, I think the average would be fine. The average CTC might be lying around 20, I would say. 20 or 21 CTC, maybe because of the COVID impact. But I think our batch was little lucky, I would say, because the 2021 batch, no, I'm sorry, 2020 batch, which like on which the people were sitting for the placements. I think during that time, COVID pandemic was very high, so placements got impacted a lot. But I think Sneha will give more, insights on how it's going on. But yeah, overall the placements at IISc is very great.
Amazing. Before we proceed, considering the time we are left with, I'm going to launch a poll so that we can understand whether you like this session or not. So here I have launched it. And for all the attendees, I request you to please vote whether you like this session or not. This is the first question. You can answer it in a yes or no. And the second question, how likely would you recommend this webinar to your friends? The rating starts from 1 to 10. 1 is being not likely at all, and 10 is being extremely likely. And I'm just waiting for the result. And meanwhile, I'll be asking more questions to our experts. Okay. And Omkar has a question. How a student from NIT and triple ITs can get internship in IISc? Sneha, do you have any guidance on this?
Okay, yeah. So I think recently in my lab, a student from Jabalpur University, he was in his second year only, and he was doing his summer internship from my lab. So what you have to do is sometimes you have to directly, if you are interested, for example, he has done some ML related course in advance, and he thought that he'll be good doing these kind of projects. So he approached the professors directly through emails. You can go to IISc websites and see what professor is doing what work, and you can just directly access them. And I think professors would be more than happy to give you an internship here in IISc if they like your work. And other than that, I think I'm not sure about the exact name of the there is a kind of internship portal. It's a government internship portal. I'm not sure about the name, so I'm not taking the name. It's a government internship portal where you can go and register yourself, and through that you'll get assigned in different IISc, like IITs, these kind of colleges to do your internship. So the guy who was doing internship in my lab has done the same. Through the government portal, he has got into IISc. So yeah, that's about that.
To all the attendees, I have still kept the poll open so that we can understand, and also so that we can just bring more such webinars to you. Coming back to you, Nikhil, you were just talking about the, do you want to add anything, Nikhil?
Yeah, so I would like to add on Sneha's point. So the way Sneha mentioned about the internship, like you can contact the advisor. So the similar thing I was talking, that it's almost similar to what I was saying, something called project assistant or a research assistant at IISc. So the methodology for the project assistant or the internship which Sneha mentioned, it's both are same. That's what I would like to add.
Okay.
Nikhil, one more question I want to ask here that, after clearing gate examination, when it comes to entering into IISc, so to just cope up with the rigorous standard, how we should prepare ourselves. This has been asked by Manik.
Yes. So what I would say that, let's say if you, okay, so behind the scene, what happens is that you will get to know that you have been selected for ISC a month back. At least during my time in 2019, I got to know, I think around 5th June, that I got offer from ISC, and the classes start from ISC is around first, like the beginning of August. So you have close to 2 months, or let's say at least 1.5 months for sure. So what you can do, like if I would have been student, let's say starting from for the first year, what I would have done is I would have like go through the website and get to know that what are the courses has been offered at IIS. And after these courses, I would have gone, like every professors will mention their courses, and they would like to know that what are the textbooks recommended, or like what are the research papers to get the thing started. So I think I would get started reading this, and let's say if the things well, it's not understandable, I would like to clear my basic concepts again, so that when the actual class gets started, I would get the things, I can learn the things more faster as possible. So I think, yeah, the main thing is once you get to know the I say that you got the offer, we have a decent amount of time, and I think that a student can use that opportunity properly.
ओके और हमारे बीच में मतलब ऐसे पैनलिस्ट है जो पढ़ने में भी काफी होनहार है और साथ में क्रिएटिव एस्पेक्ट भी है. जैसे अगर मैं बात करूं स्नेहा की, शी इज अ यूट्यूबर. So
Yeah.
she's a YouTuber. She is very good in academics. That's why she is in IISc. And so एक जो क्वेश्चन मैं आपसे पूछूंगी, ये आयुष ने पूछा है. How do you get enough time to prepare for the internship placement with the coursework?
Okay, so as I said, I did not get enough time to prepare because you have, as I said, you have to manage with your coursework. But then again, in IISc, coursework are such that, for example, I had done a lot of data science related courses, so I did not have to separately prepare for data science jobs. But for then SD, I just had to prepare my resume. I had to prepare my GitHub account, and yeah, and to be frank, when before giving the interview, one night before, I will go to Geeks for Geeks, see what are the previous questions that were asked in interview, and prepared very much like that. So that's one thing that I did before every interview I sat on. So yeah.
Nikhil, I'll be asking you two questions back to back. One is asked by Omkar. How is data science and computer science different? Are there any chances to do research regarding data science, as my branch is data sciences and in NIT Bhopal?
Yeah, so one can think data science, like we can think of data science as a subset of computer science. So what happens is that, let's say if you are in the computer science background, so there are many opportunities available, like one can get into the system pool and can do his research on the OS and a lot. There's something called intelligence system pool, let's say, like which the Sneha is part of. So in that we can have like data science, machine learning and all. So we can, a student can always have his career in the data science if and continue to have his career in data science if he's joining the computer science domain. Have I answered your question, Omkar? Or was it something else?
Yeah, I think
yeah.
I think there are two kinds of job mostly CS students sit for. One is for SD role, and then another is a data science role. So yeah, you can enroll in IISc and you can sit for data science role there. And one good thing about IC is one good thing you can do after coming to IC is get into a data science position, because a lot of data science company visit here in IISc particularly, and a lot of research work happens in IISc regarding intelligence system pool. So I think you will get, if you are from a data science background, you will get a great opportunities here in IISc.
Okay. We have very less time and a lot of questions, so I would request my panelists to just answer it briefly. Next up, we have a question. I'm interested in AI and want to pursue career as a research scientist. Does MTech AI program is enough, or one has to pursue PhD for career as research scientist position in industrial lab like Google Brain, DeepMind, Meta AI? And please also talk about PhD conversion process during MTech.
Okay, so I can take this question.
Sure.
So what happens is, okay, so first to answer first question, if you are enrolling in the MTech AI program, so let's say if you're sitting for the placements, there are many companies that actually comes for the research profile. At least during my time, I remember there were 2 companies which came for the research profile. So not only it's restricted to MTech AI, as Neha also mentioned, we can a student like if you are in CDS, CSA or AI, all sit for the same companies for the placements. So you can enroll for the MTech AI program, and there is a chance that some company may come for the research profile, and you can directly enroll on that. To answer next question regarding conversion from MTech to PhD, so I can tell about the MTech research part, like how conversion happens. So there are some minimum number of subjects, like for MTech research program, you have to have 6 subjects at least, like, and you have to maintain a decent, not yeah, there should be a decent CGPA that has to be maintained during the MTech research program. So there's some number, I think it's 7 or 7.5. So once that CGPA is done, a panelist will sit for the interview process. They will actually, like the normal PhD process that happens, right? So during MTech research only, there will be another interview taken by your department. Let's say if you're in CSA, so CSA panelists will be sitting similarly for the other department. So they will sit, and again, if you perform well in the interview, you can convert your MTech research to PhD. So what happens is that I'll tell you, let's say PhD program is for 6 to 7 years. And during the MTech research, you have already completed your 2 years. So to complete your remaining PhD, you will only have 5 years left, or 4 to 5 years left. So you won't be giving extra time to complete your PhD. So I think I covered the answers, covered the questions.
You have answered the question perfectly, Nikhil. And Sneha, we have a question. Research experience component during MTech project in second year. Please share your research experience as IISc is known as the mecca of research in India.
Okay, yeah. So what's the best thing about MTech coursework in IISc is that you get a very good idea of how research is done. I didn't take a research course, but I have this opportunity to publish a paper because I have a good guidance of professors. So here professors do not differentiate between, oh, this is a PhD student, this is a MTech student, this is a MTech research. So I would not give enough time to MTech student. Professor treat you all very equally. So the same opportunity that MTech research student have, you also have. So if I have to say about myself, I have joined my lab in May 2022, and I'll be finishing my research work in July 2023. So I have a decent amount of time. And my professor, and I was lucky enough that my professor has given a problem statement to me by himself. So I did not have to work on that, because many students have to work on their research statement problem also. So yeah, I think I have given the answer in brief.
Okay. I'm actually surprised with the set of questions and the number of questions we have received for you guys. Thank you so much to all the people who are sending such relevant questions. And I hope panelists are able to answer all your queries. I think we need to do a second session on IISc. But unfortunately, it's time for me to wind up this session for today. And thank you so much to both of you for conducting this wonderful session and answering all our doubts.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah, pleasure is all ours. Thank you, Shilpa, for being a great moderator and anchor. Thank you.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Nikhil. Yeah. And thank you to all the people who have attended this session. I hope you had a great insight. And till then, take care and keep dreaming high. And before that, Nikhil, if you just want to take a screenshot, feel free to take it. Is it done?
Theoretical CS or systems or AI/ML, which is the best in IISc, or maybe a ranking you can give.
I cannot give you much time for that, Sneha, if you just
Okay.
reply in a few seconds.
Yeah, I think for systems, IISc is better known, systems professor, as I have heard. So yeah.
Okay. So with this, I'm Shilpa signing off. Till then, take care and keep dreaming high. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.